Okay, well, thank you, Bernie. One thing I've been seeing over the last several months is that there's so many ads on how to make more money, how to increase your business, how to bring in an income, how to do it in a sense that what we're lacking is more contacts. And I don't know that's really backwards because when you look at the income that you're bringing in, this makes sense to a person like Eric Sinego because he's looking at income, the money that you're bringing in. But in reality, that's the outcome. Income is what you have inside. Outcome is the validation or the acceptance that money can come to you. So what is income? Income is self-worth, self-validation, self-esteem, anything to do with the self. Okay? So when as soon as we know what our worth is, we know we don't want to sell for less than a certain point. There's a reason why some coaches are $50 and some are $1,000 an hour. Because they both get it. But it's all about am I good enough? Am I worth $1,000 an hour? Then a person will say, not really. No, I'm only worth maybe $19.50. And that's what you'll get. So it's not about how you think. If you always look at how you price things, and I caught myself the other day, I was developing a new class and it says, this is an awesome class and I'm comparing it to many other classes. And some are selling it for $400, $500, $600 for the class. And I'm thinking that I don't know if people have the money to do the 600, so I'll go 300. And right away, Spirit said, why are you doing that? If people are getting 600 and you're thinking you're getting 300, that means you're only worth 300. Do you think you're worth 300? Do you think you're as good as the rest of them? And when you ask a question like that, yeah, I absolutely think I am as good, in some cases better. Then why are you pricing it that you only think that you're worth this? Because that's how they're perceiving it. Because I think they don't have the money. But look at the backwards of it. If you know, I saw another commercial on a brand new wheelchair that can actually climb stairs. This is amazing. This is a wheelchair. They know how people that are in wheelchairs, they can't go upstairs. They have to have ramps. Well, they've developed a wheelchair that when you go backwards, it can actually bring somebody upstairs, up a set of stairs, and then also down the stairs. And they can go about roughly 20 miles an hour. So that's a pretty good speed. For those that have no arms, mobility, they look at it as they just have to lean forward or lean back to go backwards or forwards or slow down in something. And it's worth $40,000. Tell me, we probably don't have $40,000 lying around just, not doing anything. But if it's for your kid, I got the $40,000. Think about it. Would you get this if your child needs it? Of course you would. We all would, because we all care. We all want to do the best, but we don't have it. However, we see the value in it, and that makes it that's what we need, right? So when we look at self-value, self-worth, that's the inside work. So when we're looking at increasing our sales, don't look at the fact that, okay, how many more people do I need to come in? That's all outcome. The inner work is, I know I am attracted to many people. I have a lot to offer. If somebody comes to me for a brake job, they know they will get not only a good deal, but they'll get it done right. That's more important than the price. It is. Now, if you can get both, like you get with Sam, you got a golden opportunity. But the end result is safety. You want to make sure those tires go on and they're safe. They're not going to fly off in the middle of the highway, right? And we see that all the time in videos and so on. So when I go to somebody, I want to first know, first of all, if they can do the job. If they can do the job, that's great. Then the next thing is price. Price is always secondary. I know people say price is king, as long as it has a good price. But, I'm seeing a lot of things coming from Temu and all that, and it's so cheap, so crappy cheap. And I haven't bought anything yet. My new phone came with the Temu app, and I'm looking at the energy surrounding it, and Spirit just says, just delete it. Talking to a person last night, and they bought the glasses. Like, these are reading glasses that you can get in the store. I think they're about $20. Temu has it for $8 for 4 of them. So the price is really great. But when she got it in, she says, "Oh man, it's not that great a quality. What do you get for $2, right? Because that's the income, that's the value, all right? And what does that mean to you? If somebody comes to Sam and says, I know you swap tires for whatever it is, $100 or $200 or whatever it is, and would you do it for $20? You're gonna. What do you do anyway? Nothing else is booked." But he said, "No, I wouldn't do it for that because it takes me years and years of experience to figure out how to do it in a shortest amount of time. So you're not paying by the hour, you're paying because of the 10 years I've been doing this, right? So there's value there. So as soon as you start doing that, then clients come in and actually you do get what you do get. Coaches go through the same thing. How many coaches are actually charging $500 an hour? There's a lot of them. And I just recently saw one that about 10 years ago in another group, they were charging $500 an hour, and they're still doing it. In other words, he's still coming up with enough people that says, yeah, it's a big price tag, but look what I get when I go to this person. In 1 hour, we cover more stuff than in 2 or 3 hours with somebody else. Why? Why do you think you cover more in a shorter amount of time and it's more expensive? Because they're good. Because they know what they're talking about. They can see right through the facade, and then just the way you speak, they could say, okay, I know what the problem is. It's your mindset, and then they go right to the problem. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying because somebody is just doing whatever they're doing. You're paying because they have a solution to your problem, and that has value. And that is the inside job. And how people pay is the outside job. Okay? So when income is coming to you, realize that's the outcome. You got to go inward to get the income. Back to you, Bernie.